you? I hope you're well. And it seems like 5 minutes ago I was saying that to you, but it was probably about 5 weeks ago now. I just thought I'd pop on and say hello very quickly. That's two ums. Because we've been so busy over the last few weeks and haven't been able to make a podcast, and I haven't really been on Instagram very much either, so I am actually still here. So we've been basically, suddenly it's November, mid-November, we're hurtling onto Christmas. We had a birthday in the house, not mine, but we had a birthday in the house last weekend, and always when that birthday is kind of done, then it's legitimately the build up to Christmas. Even bought some Christmas cards. Went out shopping for the first time in ages. We've been so busy, I've just been sort of holed up. Anyway, basically, if you have ordered our Dickensian Yuletide Advent, that's our 24-day Advent, that's gone. If you ordered the Floral Edit Advent, that's our weekly Advent, that's gone. Oh, I just had a complete coughing fit. This is why I could never do Instagram Live. So, resuming, my eyes are watering. So, that's got, in fact, the Floral Edit, we always dye up just some extras, just in case. And there were 3, as I'm recording this, there were 3 in the shop of the Floral Edit weekly Advents, which means that you open it on the 3rd, the 10th, 17th and 24th of December. So there are, as I say, there were 3 in the shop ready to ship. Also, we sent out Salvage Chronicles, and Little Bookshelf Yarn Club, and the Botanist Club went on Friday. It's been bonkers. It has been non-stop. We've got, if you ordered the Folklore Artisan, that will start going out towards the end of the week. Christmas Eve boxes are going out, again, starting to go out. They have to go out in batches. And, Harry Potter, Little Bookshelf Yarn Club, that will be going out soon as well. So, suddenly it's November and what happened to October? I don't know. It's always like that. I think anyone who does Advents will say it's just such a busy time. So I haven't had a huge amount of time for stitching, if I'm honest, because by the time I sit down, I've been asleep, to be honest. I've been going to bed quite early, and yeah, but I have done some. So I'll show you what I've done. Oh, my favourite thing that I'm doing at the moment. My favourite thing to do is applique. I love it. I love stitching fabric onto fabric. So you cut fabrics out and then you stitch them all back together again. But it's my favourite thing to do. I love that. So I'm just stitching on one of my, absolutely, this is one of my favourite fabrics ever. It's a bit of vintage fabric that I got, and I think that's the last scrap. I think that's the last scrap of it that I've got. So that's gone onto my nature journal because I thought that was lovely to remember sort of summer and that burst of colour. And then I have just stitched on, I'm doing 2023. In the centre. So if I haven't said this before, I'm sorry if you've heard me say this before, but I'm doing a nature journal which is quite big, and I'm just doing January, February all through the year till it comes sort of full circle as a focus for my stitching, really. And it's just little things that I see that I want to put on there, or little nature quotes, birds. I'm just putting onto my journal, and I've just done 2023 in the middle. I've just finished that yesterday afternoon actually. And I'm just in the process of putting on, just stuck a needle in my finger, the if you had our Salvage Chronicles seed heads, that was a little stitch for seed heads. and I'm just putting that on, stitching that on, and then I've got little bits, scraps of fabric and everything that I want to add onto it. But I have missed sitting down. I used to sit down every single evening and just put a few stitches onto that, or just find a little scrap of fabric and think, oh, that's going on. And I just haven't had time, and I've really, really missed it, because I've said before, it's so therapeutic to stitch every day, or whatever, you know. I think whatever it is that makes you happy, whether it's knitting, crochet, painting. I mean, I love doing all those things, but at the moment I'm completely obsessed with stitching, because I'm just finding it really relaxing. If you received our last Selvage Chronicles, I would think most of you probably have now. We, Christopher and I track, when we send out tracked parcels, particularly with the Advents, sorry, I apologise, that's after that coughing fit. We still like to track them and think, oh, they've arrived, that's arrived, or that's in the country, just so that we know that you're going to get them. And honestly, some of the parcels, we've been posting some that have been delivered 2 days from being posted. It will go to the post office, say Wednesday morning, and it's delivered Friday afternoon in America. It's quicker than here. Why did I tell you that? Oh, Selvage Chronicles, yes, you should have had them. Yes, you should have had them by now. Although I think they favour tracked. I'm not going to get onto that anymore, but I do think they favour tracked parcels actually, so maybe they do get there a bit quicker. But anyway, if you did have our Selvage Chronicles seed heads, I'll put a little video in just showing you the kind of thing that I'm epically waffling on about. Then what I've decided to do actually is make a little, so some of the fabrics are going onto my nature journal, and the seed head stitch has gone on, but also I'm going to make a little pouch, a little hand sewn pouch. It's something I've wanted to do for ages, and I've done a few little needle cases, but this is going to be a little pouch that I can put just bits and pieces in. It'll probably end up with because Willow seems to be the focus of everything at the moment, we'll probably end up with dog biscuits in it, but Willow, by the way, is pretty much fully grown now. She's out on a walk. My husband always takes her out when I do a podcast, because she's quite, well, not needy, but she's always wants affection. She was a real handful of a pup. I mean, she was so naughty. I'm talking really naughty. It's just that she's incredibly playful, but we were exhausted. Monty and Archie, I think Monty was a bit, he bullied me a bit when he was a puppy, and he was our first dog, but he was still very placid, still easygoing. Archie used to play constantly with Monty, so I think I didn't realise he was always playing with Monty, so I think that was his play, that was his outlet. Willow has just been, you have to clear the decks. It's like having a toddler. Couldn't leave anything out, she'd find it. Then she had her season, and then she's just changed. Suddenly, she's just affectionate the whole time. She's always been affectionate, but she's just affectionate the whole time. She just wants to sit near you, constantly nuzzling, and Beauty and the Beast, really. She's lovely. But anyway, anyone who's got a pup would know what I mean. They do tend to be your focus. But she's definitely smaller. I think she's 9.5, nearly 10 months now, and I think that she is as big as she's going to get. I might be wrong, but I think she is, and she's quite a bit smaller than Monty or Archie were. Oh, I do miss my animals. I had a really good cry yesterday. Something happened that reminded me of Archie. And this time last year was when it was all starting to unfold and everything. Oh, I do miss my animals. Anyway, digression, moving back to this. So I'm going to do a little pouch with my bits and pieces from Selvage Chronicles. I think I may have said when I sent it out, there was a bit of extra fabric that I put on the front, and I remember thinking you could make a needlebook, which you absolutely could, in the same way as I'm going to make a pouch from it. Epic waffle. There was also there was some lovely. There was a little bit of vintage. Have I got any here? Did I save myself any? There was a lovely bit of vintage Laura Ashley. I got a little bit of it when I was at a fabric fair, and I picked it up and I thought that's going in the Selvage Chronicles, and I didn't have very much. No, I haven't got any. That's annoying. But anyway, there was some vintage Laura Ashley in there, and the colours were all sort of, well, I would have shown you by now, I would have put an insert in, but they're all muted apricots and browns and things like that. And there was some Liberty in there as well. I've got some hand block print, Indian print, I mean, yeah, bits of Liberty fabric, and some hand dyed yarns. Hand dyed threads, not hand dyed yarns. Speaking of Liberty, actually, this is completely now off the subject, but then if you watch this podcast, you will know that that's what I do very well. Actually, just to share, so years and years ago, I used to write a beauty blog, sort of like a beauty wellness blog, where I would write about things that had been sent, things like that. And I've always had a real interest in skincare and, yeah, beauty products. So anyway, I do something called the Liberty. This is Liberty of London. Now, this can't be used towards fabric. This is just beauty. But I do something called the Liberty Beauty Drop, and I pay £20 a month to Liberty. So it's almost like, I think of it like a Liberty savings account, I suppose. You can only spend it at Liberty, you can only spend it on beauty, which I could easily do. You can also use it, obviously, if you want to buy things for people at Christmas or anything like that. You've got the money there. You get free delivery. You also get special offers and vouchers sent through and things like that. But what's really good about it is you also get, once a quarter, they send you a little beauty box. And it is, each one is worth about £70 or £80, I would say. They're all samples, but you get, I've got one on today actually, you get little perfume samples. This was a little bottle actually. And I think when we looked it up, it was about £35 worth. And I've had serums, I've had beautiful moisturisers, all sorts. You get all sorts, and it's literally free. So if you, I think it's probably only UK only. But yeah, if you are interested in your beauty products, if you're not, I apologise. But yeah, it's called the Liberty Beauty Drop. You can't go wrong really. If you do spend money on moisturisers, or it can be nail varnish, makeup, anything, then I think that's a bargain. Also, telling you things, the other thing I wanted to say, I'm going to make sure my phone is very nearly, still working, full to capacity. And it said to me this morning, warning, your phone may not work as normal. You need to, I've got so many photos and videos and everything on there, and I'm recording audio on it, so I just wanted to make sure it was still working. Otherwise, well, I couldn't go through this again. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to tell you about was a lovely lady whose name is Jane, and it is, I think her website is Snapdragon, maybe Snapdragon Life. I'll leave a link underneath. Oh, she's lovely. She is like a kindred spirit. She'll say things and I think, yes, that's exactly what I think. And she lives in Scotland, and she has this really calm, lovely way about her, and she makes beautiful things. So yeah, Jane, I think her name is Jane Lindsey. Snapdragon Life, she's lovely. And let me know if there's anyone you think is wonderful that we should all know about, because there are so many fabulous people out there doing wonderful things, and Jane is one of them. I think that's all I'm going to say about all of that, about the things I've been making, because I could go on and on and on about my stitching plans, but I'm actually planning to do another podcast on Friday. Sorry to keep wagging my finger at you. Actually planning to do another podcast on Friday to talk more about some of the yarny things that we've got coming up, because it's so nice to be creating new things again. We've been loving putting your parcels together. Anything that's been packed over the last few weeks, we listen to things when we're packaging, and they're all happy boxes. They've all been packed with happiness and giggles, and tired, but happiness and giggles. So anyway, a few things. I'm just going to show you a few of the yarns that have gone in the shop, but there are some lovely things coming Friday, including, there'll be a little giveaway on Friday's video. And we've got, because we've had lots and lots of people asking for our Advents and our Christmas Eve boxes and all things like that. We can't do any more of them. As I said, there are a couple of floral edits, Advents, weekly Advents in the shop. But apart from that, we can't do any more because it's a very kind of involved thing that we do, and I would have to go out and get more fabrics, exactly the same fabrics, and it's not something that we've been able to do in the time frame. But what we have got some exciting things coming Friday, Christmassy, but that will be perfect for the lead up to Christmas as well. You'll see Friday, and there's a giveaway. So anyway, just wanted to show you some of the yarns that have gone in with a very food focus. Also been watching the Great British Bake Off, which I'm enjoying. Oh, and there's another one called, you can hear my brain ticking, can't you, when I do that? There's another one called, it's the Woodwork Challenge or something. I'm really enjoying that one too, because my husband does a lot of woodworking, so he loves all of that. Anyway, so this is the Caramel and Blueberry Crumble, which is a scrumptious yarn. And then there is Blackberry and Ginger. This was inspired by kind of like blackberry and ginger jam. Lovely, lovely colours. There's a lovely little flash of pink in that as well, which I adore. And then there is Rose and Ginger Turkish Delight. Do you like Turkish Delight? I love that. So you've got lovely rich gingers, ochres, and that lovely Turkish Delight pink. And then there is Marzipan Fruits. My nan always used to have some marzipan fruits on. When she used to go into her house, she had a little sideboard. Everyone had sideboards. So I've got a dresser, but everyone, when we first got married, we had a great big sideboard. Don't know what we did with it. I genuinely don't remember what we did with it. Everyone had sideboards. Anyway, do you have a sideboard? Maybe you do, but the move seems to be away from them. Up to because they took up a lot of room, didn't they? Goodness, Sherry, you're going off on one. But anyway, she used to have marzipan fruits on her sideboard. When we used to go and visit her just before Christmas, I used to think, oh. So this is Marzipan Fruits. And the last one is Cozy Winter Walk, which is something I have missed a lot because we have been so busy. I haven't been able to go for my usual walks and rambles, and I've missed that. We found some lovely ancient woodland, actually, which we've been walking in, which is, oh. And we've got another one near us called, I think it's called Wistwood on Dartmoor. You can't actually go into that, but you can walk around it. But I love trees. There is something about them. I've said this to you before. I mean, we all love beautiful flowers, of course we do. I've got plans to have lots of flowers. Jane, Snapdragon Life, was planting sweet peas, and it made me really excited for everything I want next year. But I tell you what, I love flowers, but trees, oh, there's just something incredible about trees. I love them. That's the focus. That was the focus of our last nature journal, Season of Mists, and for the Folklore Artisan was all about Woodland Deep. And at the new Botanist Club, which is in the shop now, is called For the Love of Trees. And that's going to be ochres and plums. I'm looking at my cherry tree now, which is, it's almost like an ochre in the green. It's absolutely beautiful. And then you've got the reds, the plums, obviously fresh greens, and there's going to be touches of grey and caramel in there. So if that's your colour sort of scheme, that's the Minis Club this month. What was I saying? Completely got myself. But oh, woods. Yeah, I just love the woods. And I've missed it. I've really missed it. I think that's it for today. So I'll be back Friday. And like I said, we have a little giveaway for Friday. And I'll tell you about some of the things that are going in the shop. So I will hopefully see you Friday. And let me know what you've been up to. And yeah, see you soon.